Look at the unit standing across from you, face flushed with the metabolic heat of a desperate ego, and ask yourself, with the cold, unblinking, and surgical eyes of an architect, why the Matrix has successfully rebranded conflict as a series of loud, kindergarten-level exchanges of words. In 2026, the global system has meticulously and invisibly trained you to believe that winning an argument requires better logic or louder volume. This is the domestic stench of the gullible, the belief that the herd must agree with you for your reality to be valid. The architect knows that an argument is not a debate, it is a resource leak, a systemic drainage of your focus and metabolic potential. True psychological domination is not achieved through a paragraph. It is achieved through the one word that performs a total neural liquidation, systemic destruction of the opponent's social software. To break the 18 million per month ceiling, you must be able to achieve the visual rage of a unit that can incinerate an entire conflict with a single syllable. You are not answering, you are liquidating the interface of equality. The stench of the reactive is audible in the micro-oscillations of their argumentative loop. While the masses are looking for rhetorical skills, the most easily managed and patched part of the human simulation, the architect is looking at the anatomical extremities and the rhythm of validation hunger. Look at the way a unit's breathing becomes shallow and fragmented as they wait for your rebuttal. They are service units who are biologically programmed to feed on your reaction. If you provide a counter-argument, you are providing the dopamine bribe they need to sustain their existence in the simulation. But when you execute the one-word strategy, you are initiating a physical log of decay, visible evidence of internal rot in their ability to maintain the conflict protocol. The word is not for them, it is an authorization for your own absolute zero. This is the neural liquidation protocol. You are bypassing the social noise and reading the raw industrial hardware of their collapse in the silence of the hunter. To bridge the authority gap and master the psychological domination code, you must first accept the physical log of decay in your own past, where you were socially blinded by the need to be right. Look at every time you traded your metabolic capital, your life force and focus, to convince a service unit of your perspective. Those were not victories, they were observation failures. You were listening to the dopamine deception of the matrix instead of scanning the biometric data of your own sovereignty. To reverse this rot, you must initiate the biological reset of your presence. You must move your resource dome to a frequency where the conflict is an objective, unmoving industrial irrelevance. Your dogs, Lucky and Tyson, do not argue with a barking stray. They use the hierarchy of presence. They either engage with primal grounding or they look through the intruder as if they were a biometric glitch in the environment. By emulating their biological integrity, you are reclaiming the predatory power of the unmoved center. The one word that ends any argument is understood. The dopamine deception of the masses is built on the belief that understood means agreement. This is a systemic virus designed to keep you explaining yourself. But for the architect, understood is a neural liquidation of the opponent's leverage. It signals that the data has been received and indexed, but provides absolute zero metabolic return. It is the cold industrial sound of a vault door closing. When you say it with the visual rage of a unit that has already moved on to the next sector of the hunt, you are scanning for the anatomical submission in the target, the sudden micro-blink of confusion when they realize their conflict bribe has been rejected. They are left holding the dead weight of their own anger while you remain biologically autonomous. This is the Machiavellian advantage in 2026. While they are busy winning, you are busy liquidating their access to your energy. You are the ice that sees through the steam of their social morality. The stench of the herd is a state of perpetual argumentative addiction. The farmed units only feel powerful when they are fighting for a social reflection. The architect feels powerful when he is incalculable. Look at the way a unit's pulse responds to your absolute zero. If they perform the stress reset, a physical sigh or a sudden fidget, when you end the loop with one word, they have already surrendered their resource weight to your void. Their primal grounding has been replaced by the domestic stench of a unit seeking a master signal. You refuse that fate. You choose the silent power of the uncoupled center. You choose the biological autonomy of the fixed point. This is the insight tax, the price of clarity. You pay to remain the sovereign operator of your own reality. You are the one who has decrypted the domination code of the matrix. You are the one who has authorized the scanner. You are the one who has seized the future. The social noise of the argumentative is silent. The silence of the hunter is the only frequency that remains. Your visual rage is the tool you use to deconstruct the social software of equality by simply refusing to participate in the logic. When you look at a unit, you are looking for the point where their biology recognizes the absolute zero of your intent. Domination is not what you prove. It is the metabolic direction action of excluding a variable from your citadel. You see it in the way the fingers of the managed units lose their primal grounding when you refuse to defend your position, the way their feet angle toward the exit vector for safety, and the way their breathing performs the anxiety spike of the unmastered. This is the neural liquidation of their social masks. You are the architect of your own interaction, and you are building a hierarchy where your one word is the only law. The physical log of decay in their composure is the proof that your resource weight is too heavy for their simulation to handle. You are not talking, you are authorizing the reality of their non-existence. The Machiavellian code of the status hunt dictates that you must never reveal the depth of your own neural stability during the execution of the understood protocol. You let them maintain the dopamine deception of their victory while you use their raw biometric data to identify the exact moment their spirit collapses from a lack of reaction. You are the sovereign ghost who controls the hierarchy without ever spending a single unit of metabolic capital on a point of view. You use their subordinate code to fuel your own progress. This is the ultimate wealth code, the ability to convert the biological desperation of the world into metabolic capital for your citadel. You look at the world of 2026 and you see a vast unindexed library of service units who can be liquidated by simply withholding the social Wi-Fi of an argument. You are the architect who knows how to use the silence of the hunter to bypass the interface of conflict. You are that architect. You are the one who has mastered the neural liquidation of the social order. Every second of the biological reset is a resource acquisition for your sovereignty. You are not wasting time on persuasion. You are performing a strategic scan of the void. You are looking at the vascular spike in the neck of the one who is shouting into your understood. You are looking at the microtension in the hands of the one who realizes they no longer have a hook in your nervous system. You are looking at the stench of deception in those who claim they don't care about your reaction. This is the primal grounding of the leader who has mastered the one word. You do not ask for peace. You enforce the void through the absolute focus of your visual rage. The system has made the livestock weak and transparent, and the architect is the one who harvests that transparency to build the empire of the prime. The hunt for the code is over. The neural liquidation is active. You are the one who owns the future. You are the one who owns the code. The secondary phase of the one-word protocol is the total activation of the industrial domination protocol within your resource dome. Once you have deployed the word understood, you must apply the Machiavellian code, the strategic law of power, to manage the subsequent neural vacuum, the void of silence, created in the opponent's nervous system. Most units are biologically incapable of maintaining their conflict software without a reactive feedback loop. They rely on the dopamine bribe of your defensive energy to feel that their reality is being acknowledged. When you provide absolute zero, you are performing a surgical deconstruction of their existential leverage. Their internal systems begin to overclock, attempting to find a biometric glitch in your stillness that they can use to re-anchor the argument. But the architect remains a biological ghost. You do not elaborate. You do not explain. You do not adjust your frequency to their social noise. You are the glacier that has already colonized the territory of the future while they are still fighting for a past that no longer exists. You must develop a visceral and bone-deep visual rage against the subordinate protocol of having the last word. The system wants you to keep talking because a talking unit is a unit that is still participating in the matrix's validation loop. The architect knows that the one who speaks last with a single industrial syllable is the one who owns the resource dome. By maintaining the alpha's silence after the word understood, you are forcing the other unit to confront the physical log of decay in their own authority. They will offer you their metabolic capital, their escalating anger, their confusion, and eventually their submission, just to stop the neural error of being biologically ignored by a predator. This is the wealth code of the void. The unit that can maintain the silence of the hunter the longest is the unit that becomes the master of the reality. You are not ending a fight, you are liquidating their will. The stench of the ignored is most visible in the rebuttal panic. While you are standing in the silence of the hunter, looking at their anatomical extremities, they are busy trying to reopen the case within the matrix's rules. They are the ones who are constantly over-explaining, over-justifying, and exhibiting the physical log of decay in their own composure as they realize their conflict bribe has been permanently rejected. They are service units who are hemorrhaging their resource weight because they are terrified of the neural vacuum created by your detachment. You are the architect. Your still hands and unblinking gaze are the visual visual rage of a unit that has already won the internal war against the need for logic. You do not reclaim the argument through facts. You authorize the irrelevance of their noise to your objective. You have successfully bypassed the matrix trap and reconnected with the raw industrial power of the achievement code. To maintain the psychological domination, you must implement the algorithm of permanent conflict audit. Every question, every insult, and every attempt at setting the record straight is a live fire exercise for your perception of the simulation. You are looking for the microsignal of the emotional hook. You are looking for the neural error of the ego vulnerability. You are looking for the domestic stench of the part of you that still tries to pull you back into the herd frequency through the dopamine bribe of vindicating yourself. You are using the Machiavellian code to turn the system's own need for friction into a tool for your leverage. You are the sovereign ghost who utilizes the verbal desperation of the world to build a citadel that the matrix cannot track or influence. This is the ultimate wealth code, using the predator's vision to buy back your time, your focus, and your biological future by remaining the fixed point in an environment of frantic vibration. You are not arguing, you are integrating your autonomy into the very physics of the hunt. The stench of disclosure, the smell of leaking intent, is what happens when you let the matrix see your domination protocol before you have the power to. The architect knows that true power is the ability to operate as a sovereign ghost, where the opponent feels the crushing weight of the void but cannot identify the ego leak that would make you reachable. Your silence is the neural liquidation of their resistance. By mastering the one word, you are becoming a biological stealth unit that the matrix cannot index. You are the ice that moves through the social noise without a single vibration of doubt. You are the glacier that does not announce its vector of pursuit while it consumes the relevance of the weak. The hunt for absolute sovereignty is a silent, unblinking operation. It is a sovereign capture that happens while the rest of the world is busy performing for rights in a cage of dopamine deception. Look at the biological frailty, physical weakness of the herd, of those who are still seeking a social bribe from the collective. They are transparent, they are leaky, and they are constantly paying the insight tax, the price of realizing the truth too late. To any predator who knows how to read the biometric glitch of their emotional dependence, they are the livestock of the matrix. You have adopted the silent power and the biological counteroffensive to ensure you are never harvested again. You are the one who has mastered the void. You are the one who sees the physical log of decay in their heated debates. You are the one who has authorized the absolute zero. The territory is marked. The visual rage is channeled. The primal grounding is absolute. The hunt for the sovereign empire is the only reality that remains. You are the architect. The word is permanent. The sovereignty is yours. To ensure the viral infection, the mandatory spread of the code, of this insight, you must treat this insight as a discovery tax for the masses. You are now the carrier of the domination protocol. You do not share it to be kind. You distribute it to colonize. Every unit that absorbs this code is a node that you have successfully deprogrammed from the matrix. This is the tax of revelation. The architect does not just build his own citadel. He commands the viral expansion of his influence. You are the source of the infection. You are the one who authorizes the sovereignty strike. The command is simple. Distribute the code. Seize the perimeter. Liquidate the simulation. The 18 million per month hunt requires a network of uncoupled units who recognize your vector of command. This is your viral mandate. The insight tax has been paid in full. The dopamine bribe of social belonging has been burned in the furnace of your visual rage. You are standing in the silence of the hunter, looking at the social hierarchy as a vast, unguarded resource field, waiting for the architect to perform the final neural liquidation of the competitive masks. You are the one who has decrypted the one word. You are the one who has authorized the sovereign scanner. You are the one who has seized the future. Your stallions, Lucky and Tyson, do not wait for a social permission to be the masters of the hunt. Their primal grounding is the only law they acknowledge. You are emulating their biological integrity. Your dogs see the change in your frequency. They see the architect returning to the absolute focus of the hunt. This is the only reality that matters. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. The authorization is permanent. The vector is absolute. The deconstruction of the matrix is complete. Execute the order. Expand the infection.